So make sure that the chair, especially if you're on a wheelie chair, is able to stay quite stable. So you would turn it around and press it up against your desk, or maybe up against a wall or the door. So a space in the room that would be clear would always be the doorway. So close the door and take your chair up against it so it'll stay put. We're going to place one foot into the middle of the chair. Keeping both toes facing forward, we're coming into our lunge position, hips round forward as well to look at the chair itself. If it's a swivel one, keep a little fingertip touch on those shoulder and arm rests. And then we're going to start to take a nice gentle lunge. So you're allowing your body weight to come forward. This guy is a real swiveler. That's it. So you can really press it back up against the wall. Your body weight will stay up even with that fingertip touch, so don't worry about that too much. Just make sure you're keeping that back heel down and enjoy this lovely yawn through the front of the hip. This knee is over the ankle. It might go a little bit further. From here, we stay into this lunge. Gently draw the belly button back, send the pubic bone through, like you're trying to tuck your pelvis. And then the same arm as the leg that's long back behind you, sweep it up towards the ceiling and allow it to gently come back a little bit. Your chest will open here a little bit as well, mainly through the thoracic, and then you can soften and come back through. We lengthen our bent knee, that foot on the chair, so that it's long to come into a hamstring stretch. So you might have a soft micro bend in the standing leg if you need it. Fingertip touch again if you need it. You've got two variations here. You can hip hinge, send the sitting bones back behind you, your chest forward. Or you can soften chin and chest over that long leg. Taking a lovely yawn for the back of this leg on the chair. Gently allow your weight to come through, back into that lunge, back over the standing leg. Push down into the standing leg and take this foot up off the chair, holding it here in a single leg stance, strengthening through the outside and around the hip, strengthening your hip flexor to keep the knee above 90-90. And then have a little pad off as we switch through. I'm going to give this a little bit more feedback. So we bring one foot into the middle of the chair, send the other foot back. You'll play around with your lunge distance here, whatever's comfortable for you, ensuring you can keep that heel down on the floor. When you're ready, you can start to move in and out of it, double checking that the pelvis can stay facing forward over the knees in the direction the toes are facing as well. I know it might feel a bit disconcerting, especially if you've got a swivel chair like this one, that it's constantly moving. It's just making you work a little bit harder, I'm not going to lie, and that I quite like. Good, stay here in this lunge, keep that heel down. Same arm as the straight leg is going to yawn up and maybe gently back behind you. Keeping as much length here as you can. Open up through the chest a little bit more. And then come all the way back through. Send your weight back over the standing leg, lengthen out that bent knee. Checking into the hamstring stretch position that you'd like. Are you going for that rounded spine, nice and soft? Are you sending the sitting bones away from the crown of the head, keeping a lovely flat back? Remember, you can have a little wriggle of the toes here, circle in the ankle, a little bit of neural flossing. Soften and come back through. Let your weight come over the standing leg. Stand down into the standing leg. Keep the knee high. And then have a little shake, a little pad off. Another thing we can do is we can take ourselves through. Again, you could stay up against the wall, but I know my chair's not going to move too much. Find the end of your seat, hold on to either side and walk your feet back. So we want our feet underneath our hips, shoulders a little bit over our wrists, so that will change, and you can obviously adapt as you go. Press down into the hands and into the feet and exhale and round your spine into a cat stretch. Open the sitting bones and allow your spine to undulate through. Bend your knees at the same time. into your cow and lazy horse. That's it. Exhale, press the floor away. Inhale, open. Exhale, press the floor away. Inhale, open. Lovely. Having a little shake off here. We're going to come down onto your forearms. I'm just going to move these out of the way so you can see better. Don't worry if your armrests don't move like that. So we come down onto the forearms into the chair. Feet may walk a little bit closer now. That's it. Our weight is going through the elbows, down into the forearms, into the chair and into our feet. We're going to keep one arm down onto the floor and sweep the other arm up towards the ceiling. Keep your legs where they are. Keep them in a soft bend, that half squat, and rotate here in your thoracic. Exhale, soften and thread it underneath your armpit and look the other direction. Inhale to sweep it up. Exhale, soften, rotate. Great. Coming through to the other side. Forearm and elbow, maybe on a diagonal line, stabilize into the chair. Sweep that arm up towards the ceiling. Keep the knees bent so the pelvis isn't turning or twisting. And exhale, soften. Threading underneath. Inhale to open. Exhale, soften, rotate. Good. We'll take it a little bit further. Feel free to have a little shake out. Come back up onto your hands. So the next version requires us to take a little look at what the leg and the hips really want to do. So as you sweep your arm up towards the ceiling, that same leg on that side can lengthen and extend, so almost straighten out. And the other knee could bend even more. It's almost like you're sending that hip, popping that hip back behind you. So now you'll get a little yawn through the thigh, through the outside of the thigh, back of the leg as well. And you'll open up through the chest even more. Exhale, rotate, bend both knees, send your sitting bones back out behind you like a flat back spine here. Chest wraps around. Inhale, lengthen out through that leg as well, bend in the other knee a little bit more so we're getting more rotation. Exhale, soften, rotate. Switching through to the other side, sweeping the fingertips up and yawning open through the back of that leg. Exhale, soften, rotate underneath your armpit again, but both knees are parallel now, both knees are bent. Inhale to open, bending one, lengthening the other. Exhale, soften, threading underneath the armpit. Bring your hands back onto the end of your chair. Exhale, round your spine. Let your fingertips come onto the chair and unroll all the way up to standing. Have a little shake out there. Lovely yawn through the back of the legs and then opening of the chest. Great work.